Hey everybody, happy Sunday and welcome back to Some Idiot on the Internet Cooking Food. That's right, it's that word cat back with some stupid friggin' video. So today, the reason I'm making this video is because I am currently in the process of making some Kraft macaroni and cheese. Because I'm hungry. But an essential element, I don't have any milk. So I came up with this idea that might be wonderful and it might be absolute trash. We're gonna find out. I'm gonna use some mayonnaise in it. Why am I putting mayonnaise in my mac and cheese? I don't know. I thought it might make it creamy and pleasant and nice. And so that's what we're gonna try. Now, because there's not gonna be enough liquid, see how much longer do I have on the timer? There's not going to be enough liquid with just the mayonnaise. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my measuring cup and I'm going to go ahead and reserve some of the pasta water. And the reason for this, using pasta water instead of just regular water, is there's going to be some starch in that pasta water, which is going to help everything come together. And I'm just going to use it little bit by little bit as I make the sauce, which you'll see. Now, I do want to make a point about cooking pasta, and that is how to know when it's done. So there are a lot of myths and oh, that's my timer. Let me turn that off. There are a lot of myths about how to tell if pasta's done. Some people say, oh, you throw it against the wall and see if it sticks. Where's my thing? Absolutely, absolutely never do that. If it sticks, that means it's overcooked, period. By that point, you might as well throw it away and start over because you're going to just have some mush. Best way to check is taste it. Now, you want to pull it out. That's done. You want to pull that pasta out as soon as it's a little bit soft, but you want it to have some firmness. You don't want any crunch in there. Sorry, I forgot to get a colander. You don't want to have any crunch to it, but definitely make sure it's firm. You don't want to have a heavy starch flavor, like that flavor of uncooked flour. Make sure that's out of there. And then, yeah, and it's done. And pull it. Pull it out and strain it. So that's what I'm doing now. Somehow I've got the pot in my hand. You can't see it. Ow, that's hot. Okay, anyway, so I'm gonna take my pasta, I've strained it, immediately returning it to the pan. And this is what you should do, whether you're gonna sauce your pasta right away or not. It doesn't matter if you're saucing it right now, or if you're going to make a big batch of pasta, save it for later, always return it directly to the pot. Now, in my case, I'm making my sauce now. Oh wait, I wanted to make the sauce in the pot first. Okay, let me throw it back in the colander. So I just contradicted myself, whatever. But because I'm doing this as a one-pot meal, I'm actually going to have to use the colander to just hang on to the pasta so I have the rest of the pot to use for my sauce. But typically, yeah, you want to return it directly to the pot. If you want to save it for later and you want to throw it in the fridge, do not ever, ever, ever rinse it with cold water. What that's going to do is it's going to ruin your starch. It's going to make it like really gummy because it's going to shock it. And all those proteins are going to tighten up in a really nasty way that nobody wants. What you want to do, and I'll do this in a different video, but what you want to do is when you return it to the pot, throw a little oil on it. You can use olive oil, you can use sunflower oil. Don't use butter or something that's going to firm up in the fridge, because that's going to make it nasty. But yeah, just throw a little bit of oil on there. And what that's going to do is lubricate the pasta so that it doesn't stick once it's cool. But more importantly, it's going to make the, how do you explain that? There's a word for this. It's going to change the heat conductivity of the pasta. It's going to increase it because oil is a really good heat conductor. a lot more than pasta and starch in general. So once you've got that oil on there, you toss it, and then let it sit for a few minutes. You're going to see a lot of steam coming off, which is great. That's what you want, because as the steam comes off, it's actually cooling the pasta. And then come back every couple of minutes and toss it again. And the reason you do that is to increase the surface exposure of the pasta to the air, so that like you don't have pasta on the bottom just sitting there steaming itself and overcooking. And at the same time, you're allowing more of that steam to escape and allow the pasta to cool down faster. Once it's cool, once you do that and get it cooled down, which takes, a good few minutes, then you can go ahead and refrigerate it or use it to do like a pasta salad, or if you're doing something like, this actually works really well with any kind of oil-based sauces, like a, what is that called? That basil sauce. Sorry, I can't remember words ever, funny enough, ironically for my username. Pesto. But also, it also just helps like get everything sort of where it needs to be to continue. Anyway, so I'll do another video about all of that. Maybe once I have a tripod or something, so I don't have to focus on so many things at once. So we have our ingredients. I've got my mayonnaise here. I'm going to start with that. So let me just get a good base of mayonnaise going. That should be enough to start with. And then I've got my cheese powder, delicious. Let's see if I can open this without putting the phone down. Yeah, got it. So let me add that to the pot. Come on. Come on. It's taking forever to come out of there because I only have one hand. I can't do it normally. Okay. And I'm going to take my butter at the same time. You'll notice that I have my butter on a little demi-tossed dish, just in the wrap. That's because I don't refrigerate my butter. Why don't I refrigerate my butter? Because you freaking don't have to. Like, butter is shelf stable by itself for a long time. It's not going to get bad. It's not going to get all bacterial, because actually I don't know why. I don't know what it is about butter that makes it like that, which is weird for somebody like me who gets so into food science and stuff. The worst thing that's going to happen to your butter by leaving it out is it'll turn rancid, which honestly, you're not going to accidentally use rancid butter. I'm just being honest with you, because if it does turn rancid, and this can happen with any kind of oil or grease that you have, whether it's refrigerated or not, it's just like what happens. And I can't tell you the science behind that. I'll have to look that up. But you'll know immediately, because it's going to be off color. It's going to smell bad. So, and yes, refrigeration will make it take longer to turn rancid, but I go through butter so quickly, there's not a chance. And typically it takes a couple months at room temperature for butter to get rancid. So, and a stick of butter, I've just fallen in love with this stuff. It's hard to see because the wrapper's all messed up, but this Finlandia butter, it's grass-fed cows, and this butter is so high quality. I'm like in love with it. Okay, so I'm putting my pasta water in there because you see how this is all clumpy? We don't want that. So I'm just stirring, and the point of doing this stirring is to just get everything incorporated and dissolve that cheese powder. And I'm not seeing this really working that well. Oh, there it goes. I started with the mayonnaise and the butter because I wanted to make sure that the fat was incorporated into the sauce. Honestly, I could have done it the other way, and probably should have, because that would have made it thicker, which is kind of what I'm going for. Although not necessarily. I don't know. I'm just messing around here at this point. So that's not looking great. It's looking very gritty, which is very much a function of just not doing this right. So now I have to stir more. Once I add the pasta, the steam from the pasta is going to add some more moisture to it. And that'll help. And then the pasta in there will also help agitate the sauce so that the cheese powder dissolves a little bit better. This is looking okay. Let me give it a taste here. Oh, you know what? That's good. That's creamy. I'm gonna add a little bit more mayonnaise because I do kind of want that texture and flavor to come through a little bit better. So I think I added about the same amount as I started with. After that, I'm going to taste it and see if it needs some more fat, and then I'll add some butter. If not, then we'll go right into the pasta situation, and that's how we're going to go. Actually, let's see. Let me taste this again. The creaminess of the mayonnaise is coming through. I'm getting the butter flavor. I do want a little bit more butter. And also, I just realized this, but because both my butter and my mayonnaise are seasoned already, I'm not going to have to add salt to this. I would normally add a little bit of salt because I typically cook with unsalted butter so that I can control the seasoning myself. And I'll be honest, this is a little bit salty, but we'll see once the pasta is actually incorporated and see where that goes. So let's go get the pasta. I got my pasta. Throw it right in there. See how it's clumpy? That's because I wasted too much time messing around. And that's why you want to add that oil that I was talking about. Typically. Oh, you can also do the oil in the colander if you want. Here I am just going to mix this up after I separate the pasta noodles a little bit. Because again, they are clumped. Coating and mixing and stirring, and I don't know what that is, so that's going to go away. The sauce is pretty good. Nice and thick, stuck to the pasta and coating it well. You see that there's really not any at the bottom of the pan, just like being all soupy. That's good. This is definitely an improvement over other times that I've done this. Well, just made mac and cheese, because I have a tendency to make it too soupy. But that's really not what I'm going for today with the marinara. Oh, let's give it a taste. Damn. You know, that legit works. That is really pleasant. The mayonnaise adds a little bit of acid to it from the vinegar that's in the mayonnaise that I really fancy here. The fat that it adds, because it's incorporated into the sauce, is also really pleasant. It kind of fills the mouth in a very nice way that the butter alone wouldn't do. The starch from the pasta water, I don't taste the starch, but I can feel it because it's thickening the sauce a little bit and helping it to coat the pasta. So yeah, I'd call this a success. I'm gonna get myself a bowl of pasta here while making a huge mess because I don't have both hands to hold the bowl up to the pot. And yeah, that's gonna be my lunch. So there we go. Mac and cheese, mayonnaise, success. Thank you all for watching, and join me next time for another stupid video about nothing at all. Grabbing my little fork. Little forky pull. And I'll see you next time. Bye!